Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. All right, Kash Patel went ahead of Congress today and testified at an oversight meeting. And to say it was spicy and probably didn't go well might be one of the bigger understatements of the week or the month. He was criticized for his handling of information with regards to the killing of Charlie Kirk. One of the points of contention was him tweeting out saying that they had captured the suspect with one of the first arrests, and that later that had to be walked back, that that person was not a suspect in the crime. Glenn Kirshner and Brian Tyler Cohen have both been on today explaining how that's problematic because it gives the defense for Tyler Robinson something known as like the third party defense or something like that, where you can say that the police made a mistake in arresting him, and the first witness they can call is Kash Patel and say, you know, you said that somebody else was the primary suspect and that you arrested the suspect, and you wouldn't just go out saying that unless you had good reason to say that. You know, basically, I think the goal there is to cause reasonable doubt. So you're giving the defense something to work with here. It appears that Tyler Robinson is not talking with the police at all. He's not cooperating. This could be a really straightforward case, or this could be a really convoluted case. But I'm not going to read on the case. I'm reading on Kash Patel. Then Adam Schiff started asking Kash Patel some very basic questions, and Kash Patel just went off on Adam Schiff, raising his voice to the point of his yelling and totally losing his cool, and was not exactly the seasoned professional that you would expect to see behind the mic. I believe Adam Schiff was asking if Patel had fired anybody related to the January 6th case, because that would be illegal. And three members of the FBI, including the former lead, Mr. Driz, who was mistakenly put in there, was one of the folks that got fired. And Patel basically told them, with some of the other guys who fired, yeah, because Trump told me to. That's not legal. You can't fire somebody for the cases they're assigned to. So Kash Patel did not have a banner day. And I think it ended with Cory Booker basically saying, this is probably the only oversight meeting that you will ever attend, because I fully do not expect you to be in this position the next time we meet. In other words, you're about to be fired, my friend. And Kash Patel went off on him for that too. So Kash was having a rough day. Let's look at Kash's rough day, shall we? And this will be for entertainment purposes only. The energy around Kash Patel's visit to Congress, especially with the Democrats. Foundation of the reading is the Five of Coins. I think he's left everybody wanting. Things did not go well. He's an outsider coming in. Oh, and he said that Jeffrey Epstein did not traffic any girls other than to himself. He trafficked girls only to himself. He did not traffic to anybody else. That's interesting. That's unbelievable. Five of Coins. Being left outside, not part of the group. Crossed with the Six of Cups, naivety. And and then the Nine of Cups. I think they led the lamb to slaughter, might be the right analogy for this. They brought this poor guy in. He was an outsider. He was put in by Trump because of his arrogance. But it also means that this guy hasn't a clue as to what he's doing, but he's in charge of doing it, and his ego doesn't allow him to admit he doesn't know what the heck he's doing. And this is kind of like the Democratic senators just sitting there ready to carve this guy up. They have, because he's got no defense. He's got nothing in his pockets to defend himself. Past, heartbreak, betrayal. They didn't want him in that position in the first place, and they warned. They warned folks that he was not the right person for this job, but the Republicans didn't listen. They put in Trump's guys, and this is what you get when you do that. Current situation, 2 wands. Get ready to pack your bags. I think that's just the overall energy here. Get ready to pack your bags. This did not go well. You're not long here. Overarching energy is the agreement, the 2 of Cups, the minor agreement. Trump may not fire him right away, or might have a conversation with him. Now, Trump is in the UK. He might have a subordinate do it. He might deal with it when he comes back. But I think there's going to be a discussion happening about Kash Patel and his future plans. Lesson to be learned is the World card. Yeah, those future plans are coming to an end. He's done. He might be allowed to stay a little bit longer. They might compensate him with a different job. They might give him one more chance, but I really don't think they're going to give him one more chance. Trump already announced a new second in command for the FBI next to Bongino. So they might just be letting that guy get his feet underneath them, and then Patel will be most likely out the door at that point. When Trump looks at Kash Patel's performance, because that's what it looked like, at least the clips I saw, Patel looked performative. He did not look like he was really in command of his subjects. Again, I didn't watch the whole thing, so it's hard to say. And again, I'm only going to see the most salacious, spiciest parts of the exchanges. So that part is biased by what I saw. Maybe if I saw the whole thing, I'd say he was very measured with his responses. But what did Trump think about Patel's performance? The Fool card. Foolish, new journey. Got the King of Pentacles, 3 of Swords, ultimately disappointed. Temperance, the Emperor. Well, Patel has supported Trump, and he's doing what the Emperor tells him to do. But here's the thing. Loyalty is a one-way street with Donald Trump. You can do all the things he tells you to, but when he's ready to move on to somebody else, out you go. Patel is at the end of his time. He may get some borrowed time. Again, there might be an overlap as Trump's got this new person coming in, and we'll ease this person in. Maybe Kash Patel gets the home version of The Apprentice that he can play with friends and neighbors on New Year's Eve or something like that. But yeah, he's not long for his job. Now, when Patel said that Jeffrey Epstein only trafficked young women was the question from the Republican, but let's be real, girls. Females, maybe the semantics are important, right? If you say young women, then he's excluding anybody 17 years and younger. And then there wouldn't be a client list for that because whatever. You know what I mean? But pedophiles by definition have to be 17 or younger. Is Patel knowingly being dishonest and disingenuous with that statement? 6 of Swords. Yeah, he's trying to calm things down. But the investigation is going to be ongoing. He knows better. He knows there's women and children involved and that they've been trafficked. But it's kind of like in order to keep your job, you got to keep going. But honestly, he's just trying to calm things down But the investigations are going on, and the truth's going to be exposed. So we'll find out soon enough. He's not telling the truth. He really isn't. Oh, God. Look at that. That was one of the other cards. In the past, you got the 6 coins. Go look for Trump's name in the documents. Redact it. Figure out every page he's done, and then we need to do something about it. And Pam Bondi told Trump his name was all over the documents back in May. And now you're going to say that Epstein only trafficked people to himself. That just doesn't make sense. Card situation, 8 of Wands. It's like he had to change his mind and his values quickly. And people have been trafficked all over the world. And investigations around the world are starting. Or have been, there's discussions about investigations going around the world here. Out comes the Strength card. Was he being disingenuous? Yes, he was being disingenuous. They're sitting on a bunch of information, but they're only revealing a little bit. But I think with the truth and the calming down is that this is actually gaining speed. The end is nigh. People are demanding action. They're demanding to see those documents. And once that Democrat gets elected, 218 signatures forces the vote. And the vote's going to go through. I had somebody asking me, well, what did I mean by 218 signatures and the special election? I believe it's in Arizona on the 23rd, which is next Tuesday. Currently, the Democrats have 217, or I should say the folks that want the Epstein documents released from the Department of Justice, the bill co-sponsored by Massey and Rokanen, requires 218 signatures. They have 217. There's a special election happening in Arizona where a deceased congressman's daughter is running as a Democrat. She has a big lead and is widely expected to win that seat. And when she's sworn in, she can sign that petition and she becomes signature number 218. And now they have enough signatures. In other words, the deceased person did not sign on to that release, that bypass. So now the Democrats will have that 218 signature. I should say Democrats, because it is bipartisan, but it's the majority of Democrats. The folks that want the Epstein files released will have enough signatures to force a vote. And it'll be interesting to see how the vote goes, because when it comes time to vote, there have been a number of Republicans who refuse to sign this little bypass, but are also vocally demanding for the release of the Epstein files. So why don't you just sign on this thing and then you can speed up the process? Because it's politics. Because it's politics. So in probably less than 2 weeks, the 218 signature will be on that document. And by the end of the month, beginning of October, and on it goes to the Senate for votes. And Trump will be sweating, because even the articles I'm reading are saying that the release of this information is inevitable. The Republicans know this is a losing battle. And if Sterling's going to predict Trump running away, it's probably somewhere between the imminent release of these documents and the association of Donald Trump with trafficking girls, and public sentiment turning against him would cause him to leave, assuming he is alive and well enough to travel. Right now, speaking of travel, he's in the UK, and I've got the death card 3 times while I was reading on him the other day. I'm not saying he's going to die over there. Interesting I got it so many times. It'd be the gift. Talk about a celebration. Oh well. Win our independence twice. Involving England. So no, I don't think Patel was being honest and forthright about trafficking. And now about Trump retribution, firing of FBI agents, and the lawsuit that's coming through here. What's the energy around Patel with that? Foundation of the reading is the Ten of Coins. The legacy of Trump. Well, we've said that's going to be Trump's legacy. His second term is the revenge tour, and Patel flat out said he did it to keep his job, and he knew he could be deposed and sued for it. He flat out said it, and crossed with delusions and lack of integrity. And the Seven of Coins. Well, reaping what you sow. You chose to keep your job. You knew you could get sued. You went in with your eyes wide open, and you made your choices. Now, you get to sleep in the bed that you lie in. In the past, you got the Star card. Yeah, so asking about investigations. Yeah, people that looked into Trump, his money, documents with Mar-a-Lago, and the firings, because you're not supposed to fire people to pay on the cases that they've been on. The agents did their job as expected. And then 3 of them got laid off. 3 senior members got laid off. Many more, I'm sure, did. But they were sent packing. They're banding together. In this case, lesson to be learned, you fired him without cause. Patel is an idiot. I mean, he's a prosecutor. He knows better. I think he just thought that Trump would protect him. Trump's wealth, his power, his position would protect him. He was a star in Trump's eye. Kept his mouth shut, did what he was told to maintain his relationship, but whistleblowers are going to come out, reveal things. It was a rookie thing to do. Trump's not going to be alive forever. He's going to be, looking up at the angels. How about that? I won't say he's going to heaven. I'll just say he'll be looking up at the angels. And you can interpret that any way you like. Outcome, 5 of Swords. Yeah, this is going to be one of those cases that this could be very problematic. So there are definite winners and losers. And the fact that there are policies in the FBI that prevent retaliation, and you can't fire people for case assignments, somebody's going to be winning that case. And it's not going to be Trump. It is not going to be the Supreme Court coming in saying, the president is fully within his rights to fire anybody in the FBI he wants in retaliation for investigating him. Because nothing screams law and order quite like that, right? All right. One last question. What was the purpose of Kash Patel in all of this? What's this guy's purpose in this administration, in this time zone, this time frame, with the conspiracy theories he championed, the children's books that he wrote, the epic butt kissing of Donald Trump, his time as head of the FBI, partying with Mel Gibson and stuff like that. What's this all about? Kash Patel, why? 4 of Swords. Retreat, contemplation, being quiet, crossed with opportunities that are coming. And underneath is the Emperor. With Donald Trump, I'm going to put this as Donald Trump. Look, daddy figures. This guy is smart, but he also knows when to shut up, and he can use that to his advantage when it comes to influencing the Emperor. He does so in a quiet way. In the past, you got the High Priestess. Educated, intelligent, knows how to keep a secret, and I think understands where the Emperor was going with things. He's been a little bit of a thinker. I do not think he's a dumb guy by any stretch. Current situation, the moon card. Why is he here at this time? The time of the lunacy, the secrets, big secrets. He came in saying he was going to reveal the big secrets. He said, and I think he learned about the big secrets, and maybe he learned more about the secrets than he really wanted to, and now he's got to learn this lesson of shutting up. Overarching energy is the Ace of Wands. He's got the power to make change. He's got the power to reveal things if he chooses to do so. He can reveal what he knows. He can take action. He's on the inside. He knows where the bodies are buried, basically. And that's kind of it. Is he in or out? Is he going to stay within the cool kids group and keep the secrets that are on there? Keep the mystery? Try and prevent this from getting out? Or is he going to be booted out and then takes a different action? Oh well, so much for optimism. Outcome, King of Pentacles. What am I looking at that? Money, wealth, comfort. This is not a mentor. This is what do you offer me? So the only way you're going to get him to spill anything is to offer him the sun, the moon, and then I had the star card on that. I've actually had all three. I had the sun, the moon, and star in all these spreads. You want him to reveal things? You've got to enrich him. He does not do things for free. I don't think he's going to be enriched. So we'll have to get our information somewhere else. Again, entertainment purpose only. What do I know? I'm just some random lunatic on the internet reading tarot cards on political events. Because apparently I've got nothing better to do with my life. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only. But I hope you found it insightful. And I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.